A secret war, strange new wounds and silence from the Pentagon. That's the headline of a sweeping New York Times investigation by Dave Phillips, with photographs by Matthew Callahan. It reveals a hidden chapter of the fight against the Islamic State in 2016 and 2017, a secret U.S. offensive built on a simple, brutal premise: put as few American boots on the ground as possible, and pound the enemy with relentless artillery fire. What the planners didn't foresee was the toll that pounding would take on the troops pulling the lanyards. When Marine Javier Ortiz came home from Syria, he saw the ghost of a dead girl in his kitchen pail, chalky with dust, eyes dark as oil. He was 21, part of a gun crew that had fired thousands of rounds. The apparition, he was convinced, was revenge. Days later, at Camp Pendleton, his buddy Austin Powell pounded on a neighbor's door in tears, hearing things that weren't there. That neighbor, Brady Zipoy, had just been floored by a sudden avalanche of emotion while tying his boots. He tapped his head and said, "We'll go see the doc. We'll get help." But across Alpha Battery, 1st Battalion, 11th Marines, and in other Marine and Army artillery units, the same story kept repeating. The Times interviewed more than 40 gun crew veterans and their families across 16 states. They described nightmares, panic attacks, depression, hallucinations. Once reliable Marines turned unpredictable. Some are now homeless. A striking number have died by suicide or attempted it. The military repeatedly struggled to determine what was wrong. Troops filled out questionnaires to screen for traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress, but the symptoms didn't fit neatly. The sheer volume of blast exposure, sometimes hundreds of rounds a day, day after day, appears to have caused a distinct pattern of neurological and psychological damage that standard diagnostics missed. And the Pentagon has largely stayed silent. For the veterans and families still searching for answers, the war didn't end when the firing stopped. I'm your name, and that's the story.